Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome back on a very, very fresh morning, an ultimate International Yoga Day. Plus, it's a World Music Day as well. So, such a good combination. And on the Yoga Day and World Music Day, Media and Entertainment Skills Council welcome you all on the Creative Warrior online programs powered by Vidyadan. So, as it's the combination, a very, very lovely combination of yoga and music. And we have a personality who has yoga in his routine. It's a part of his daily regime, it's part of his journey. And we are going to learn about how yoga supported in music and how music, on the World Music Day. So, without wasting any time, let's me introduce you all to Mr. Vishal Chandrashekhar. He needs no introduction. I am sure everybody knows him. He's an Indian music composer, but he started playing keyboard at the age of 6 and began to give solo shows by the time he was just 10 years old. 10 years old, just imagine. He worked on over 450 films, short films, and 250 ad jingles, en route to being adjudged the best music director in the Nalaya Iyakkunar show on Kalaignar TV. Vishal made his composing debut with Brindha Das Haida during 2012 with the grand audio launch attended by Gautham Menon during January 2013. Despite having the soundtrack released and the trailer launched, the film failed to have theatrical release, but that was not a stop for Vishal. He since then he kept on growing, and a critic from NDTV noted the music helps you connect with the film on emotional level. And even though there are three songs included merely to give the film a commercial touch, uh, it's his background score that draws your attention. So, a very, very wonderful personality, a very young, very talented, and very composed, a very, I'll say, humble human being I've come across, Mr. Vishal Chandrashekhar. Vishal, sir, you're most welcome on this platform.
Hi, thank you.
So, with the, sir, first of all, I'd like to congratulate you as you follow yoga in your daily regime, and it's a World Music Day. So, being a music composer and a yoga practitioner, I want to welcome you on the World Music Day and the International Yoga Day.
Really an honor being part of this show, and really happy that I got an invite from you guys. And today being World Music Day and Yoga Day, it's like a very double treat for me.
And it's a triple treat because now we have such an amazing personality sitting next to me. So,
Thank you.
What's your perspective on yoga, being a musician?
So I started off yoga at a very young age, actually. My first guru was by a person called the name of the person was Aprakash Chakravarti, and I studied in a lot of schools. Actually, I studied in about 12 13 schools totally. So and of course, with mom being a teacher, central government with Kendriya Vidyalaya, we've been almost traveling throughout India, I must say, from West Bengal to a little bit in Orissa, a little bit in Tamil Nadu. So it's been always traveling, Bihar, Bokaro, so many places. So the kind of exposure that I had as a kid towards yoga specifically was quite a lot, because this was always part of the co-curricular activities session that takes place in all the schools. So that's how it started for me. And given that I was quite flexible also at that age, so I did a lot of asanas and all that, and slowly started going for competitions, and eventually I started performing on a very high level with the West Bengal state. And so that was how I started at a very young age. Of course, music was also coming along. I used to play for the I used to play the keyboard and the harmonium and all those musical instruments for the school assembly. So that's where it started.
So, when we talk about, like you have mentioned about your traveling, your music and yoga, when you were traveling, you must have been learning about different cultures and different places. So that must have helped in the music as well.
Yes, yes, on a big way, because see, when during my stay in West Bengal, as a kid, I was exposed to a lot of Rabindra Sangeet, and that is something that is very native of the Bengalis. At the same time, when you coming down to Tamil Nadu, the Kongu Nadu music is a very strong aspect of the Tamil people. That is because they sing it during the harvest time. And I was also exposed to the whole Rangali Bihu festival of Assam and West Bengal and those areas, because that's also again a harvest thing. So it is in such a way that music is, has been part and parcel of the everyday life of people, be it West Bengal, be it Kerala, be it Tamil Nadu, anywhere. And especially I would say West Bengal and Kerala, these two places are very famous for their art forms. So for me, music, I didn't learn music, but yeah, I was exposed to a lot of music from that place.
And, at the age of 6, when people are just learning ABC, you started playing piano, and when people are actually, when the kids are actually just learning some difficult sums in mathematics, you have already started doing the solo shows. That's like amazing, sir. Hats off.
Thank you for that. Actually, I would rather, the credit goes to my dad, and of course, it's Father's Day as well. So yeah,
Yes, sir.
happy Father's Day to my dad. But so he was the one who pushed me. I won't say pushed me, but kind of kindled the music in me, because I started off with a small pencil box piano, which was which you could play only with the tip of your pen. So it was a very small thing that he got, and he saw the interest that I had in it, and eventually things got bigger. A year later, he got me a bigger keyboard, then again a bigger keyboard, and then I started off with music.
Great, sir. And music, you have started early. Yoga, you have started early. What impact do you see that on your health and your, on your career?
So it helps me think clear, basically, in a very if I want to put it in a very rudimentary sense, it helps me negate all the noise around me, and noise as in the cluttering of thoughts and all that. It helps me negate all that and helps me focus on only the thing that needs to be done. That is number one. And I just do what is necessary. I just don't go around. There's a tendency for people who are really passionate in any art form, or not just any art form, just even about their work. If a 9 to 5 person is very passionate about their work, um, they would tend to overdo things. Me doing yoga, I don't overdo things. I just do what is necessary. So it helps in that sense.
Somehow your mental strength increases and
Yes,
your judgment power also.
yes. You tend to
So,
see through the problems, and in a way. Yeah.
okay. So, how yoga actually, you know, it has been throughout your life with you. Do you imagine a day without yoga?
To be honest, yes. See, there have been days when, see, I'm like a lot of people. I was very, very strong into it when I was young. But as time went by, there was a period in my life when I was not at all doing any kind of performing any kind of yoga in my life, and it was always work, 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 and sleeping at odd timings, eating at odd timings, and getting stressed up about work. And then one fine day I realized that I was never like this. Like, so to say, I was see, I started yoga when I was in second standard, or first second standard, yeah. And mom used to wake me up every day at 4 o'clock, and in the morning. And there was a neighbor with who lived near our house, and both of us, he was a guy my age, and both of us, we used to do yoga together in the morning, like around 5:30 types. And that was how it was always. And somewhere after, shifting to Tamil Nadu, and getting yeah, the whole idea of me shifting to Tamil Nadu was for education, and better education, and a better quality of life and everything. Somewhere yoga got lost. So work stress came in, life started getting ahead of all of us, and it was always like, work, 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 and no time to rest. And one thing I realized, that after I started yoga, my eating timings got regulated, my sleep timings got regulated. I started drinking a lot of water. These are the first basic physical things that I felt happening in my system. Slowly, the mental well-being started showing up, and then, yeah, there was no looking back after that.
So the way we have spoken about yoga, sir, can we say the same about music? Can you imagine a day without music?
Actually, definitely not, because right from my childhood, right from, I started playing in my uncle's bulbul tara. That's when I actually started. Right from that day till today, I really cannot imagine a day without music. There have been days without yoga, but definitely not without music, because um and eventually, when these two things combine, no, that's when I actually realized that, so there are some days when I realize I actually have a very, very good superpower in my hand, given music and yoga together, it really works wonders.
You really have superpowers, sir, because the mental strength, the emotional strength, and the mental and emotional well-being is, I think, is the need of every hour, not just today. When we are sitting on the COVID situation, everybody is depressed, and these two parts, music has been entertaining throughout. Whether we are sad, whether we are happy, that's a part of us. And yoga, yes, I'm sure the way you have said, even if things go wrong, you can bring things back when you follow the regime of yoga. So, what's your daily regime?
So I am full and full part of the entertainment industry. So my timings are not fixed. So what happens is, there are times when I work till 9 or 10 in the morning, like without sleeping through the night. And then there are times when I sleep at 9 o'clock in the night itself. So my sleep timings are not fixed. But one thing I have fixed for myself is my eating timings. So when I eat, and what I eat is something that I decide, and I do not change those timings. And this comes because I do yoga. Because otherwise, everything around me, will get completely disorganized, and I won't be able to think straight. So I try to have at least one thing constant. So on a regular day, I get up at say 8 o'clock in the morning, or 8:30, and start my day with a small. First thing I do is I look at my hands when I get up. So I just do this and do this so that my eyelids become warm. Like most of us sleep in AC. So when we immediately like tuck, we open our eyes. They become very watery. So I just rub the palm and place it on my eyes and then slowly open, and that helps me, ease out into waking up. After that, there's just the regular routine, and work starts at around 10 o'clock in the morning, and then the regular routine of the day carries on. And by some time after, say about 5 or something, when the after sunset or something, I sit and do meditation for about 15-20 minutes every day. So that's all. That is the one small thing that keeps me going the whole day.
Okay. So is there a certain time of, when you talk about meditation, what, although I never meditate, but as a layman, if I want to start with the meditation and being an expert in music and yoga, would you like to share a way or kind of a music that we must play, or like any technique to do meditation?
So actually, though I am into music and everything, I prefer not to use music as a tool to enhance meditation. That's a totally separate way of meditation, because it's called transcendental meditation. That's a different thing. What I do is I just sit in one place. I take my breathe in with my left nostril. Air goes in, and I look at the turns. There's a small pause between your inhalation and your exhalation. So I generally tend to concentrate on that turn. There's a turn of there is a when you take when you inhale completely and you're just about to exhale, there is a moment of silence between the inhalation and exhalation. That is something that I tend to concentrate on a lot when I'm meditating, because they say concentrate on your breath. Some see It's always when you sit to meditate, it's always thoughts coming in your head, and okay, did I turn off the gas, or did I lock the door? All these things will come, but slowly, eventually, when you get into a regular practice of doing sitting and meditating at one particular time during a particular day. I mean, every day, like this time, okay, for 5 to 5:30 I'm going to sit and meditate. If you make it a habit, slowly what will happen, you'll start getting into the zone. And when you get into the zone, I'm telling you, that's the most peaceful place to be in, because you'll be at your best when you start getting into that zone. So I tend to do that. There are a few days when you however hard you try, you won't get into the zone. You won't get it by trying it. You just have to be. That's all.
Right. So I want to see the connection. Like, I've heard the connection of Om with the yoga and Om with the music. What's your opinion on that, and how do you think they are connected?
For me, Om is like made up of three words. One is A, then U, and Ma. This is very, I might say, this is very common in many religions. Like you have Amen in Christianity, you have Amin in Islam, and it's a very, very universal sound. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. Not being religious here, but yeah. So for me, what happens is, if you sit and do an Om chanting, what happens is, first thing when you say Ah, you'll realize that the navel part of your body would vibrate, and as you say ooh, you will realize the chest part of your body is starting to vibrate slowly. Chest and the throat part of your body. And when you say ma, mm, you'll start seeing vibration on your nose and lips and that area. So how I actually see it in coordination with music is, there is something called as when they do Hindustani riyas and Carnatic riyas, what they say is pet se gao, like like when they sing they give a lot of importance to this whole pet se gao thing. That I see it happening. That helps in, singing wise. That helps in a very beautiful way. And then there is head voice. Head voice is where you use in Western music. There's something called as head voice, where mostly soprano singers are singers who sing the high pitch in all the Western classical music and opera and everything. So they use a lot of head voice. So this head voice is almost synonymous to the m sound for me. So there is the Petsegao voice, and then there's the head voice, and then the normal chest voice is the oo sound for me, which any singer would use in their daily routine. So this is also synonymous to a very very warm up kind of a thing for me with music.
Okay, great. So you have received a critical acclaim for your work in Siddharth's Jil Jung Juk in 2015, and you have recorded the music with Mr. Anirudh Ravi Chandraji and Santhosh Narayananji and Sean Roldan. So how have your experience have been?
See, actually, Jiljang was a film that put me onto the Tamil music industry scene, because all this is because of Siddharth, because he was like he pushed me a lot to deliver some very unconventional music. So the kind of music that I do is not your run of the mill stuff, because I do not believe in. I won't say I don't believe in that, because it's already there. So why do it again? That's how I think about. And that's something again, Siddharth reinforced in me, and he told me, just go for it, just like no strings attached. So I also just went for it, because I did it like it was my last film, and that's how I've been doing all my work ever since.
Wonderful, and that's really a very very fresh piece of work that we have heard. It
Thank you.
still sounds like 6 years now and still sounds so fresh.
Yes.
So, like you have said, there is a connection. Since childhood, you have been doing yoga and you
Hmm.
have been with the music, right? Any experience you'd like to share with the audience on any challenges that you must have faced that you overcame in your career journey?
Yeah, plenty actually. So I'll tell you something, like it's a very very difficult path, especially with when you don't have a backing in the industry. Like I do not my family does not come from the music industry or the cinema industry. My dad was a marine engineer. My mom, she is now retired. She was with the central government teaching, primary school teacher. So my background does not, I don't come from that kind of a background. So apart from all this, like only by word of mouth, the my this thing I got a lot of opportunities only by word of mouth and networking. So this was about I started off my career in 2002 when I did my first film that never released. Then 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, I kept on doing films. None of them released. And at that time, I was also studying in college. So while studying, I was doing this as a parallel thing. Then I decided, okay, let's, there is a time when you have to do an internship with someone as part of your study. So at that time, I went and worked in a studio, in an audio studio. I had to do all sorts of jobs there, like menial jobs, bring tea and serve food. Started off basically there. So after that, slowly as I learnt the technicalities, the real technicalities, and how to go about work. When I say technicalities, it is not about the way you play music or what is the technicality. Not that. There are a lot of technicalities in the business in it itself. How you interact with people, what to say, when to say, and how to convert a small opportunity into a really really solid entrance. These things I learned being around people, and these are small things you just pick up as time goes by. So that's how it happened for me. And eventually I landed my first debut film that was released was with Santhosh Sivan as the director. And this film was a political drama which had the backdrop of the whole Sri Lanka and India relationship, and the war between the civil war that was happening in Sri Lanka. And the story was very very politically driven and politically revealing. This film got banned. It actually got nominated for a lot of awards and everything, but then in Tamil Nadu the film got banned, and it was my first debut. So I kind of faced a very very, I didn't expect that to happen in my life. And I was like down and completely down. I just closed myself out. I didn't want to see anyone. I didn't want to meet anyone because I had put in my heart and soul into the work. And finally, when because of some political reason, when the film gets banned, it's really really hurting, because there's not see, even if the film was bad and people came out and said no, it's bad, the film is, even then it's okay. But when a product has been made so that people can see it, and when there is a certain group of people that don't want others to see that product, then it becomes really hurtful. And it kind of becomes very demotivating. This was the period when I was not into yoga, and I didn't know how to manage my emotions and all that. So eventually I just didn't know what to do, and I was just sitting and thinking. And for once I started going back into my head, and into a time where things were happier, and things were much more simpler. That's when I realized that I was okay. Yes, I should get back to yoga. And from there it started.
Okay. So we all learn with the time. We all we like even till the last day of our life, we are learning something or the other.
Yes.
You think you have come across a journey and you have learned things in a better way in with any instance if you can quote?
So I with this whole learning thing, I'm very very shrewd about one thing, that if I can learn from my mistakes, that would be the last thing, because I tend to learn from others' mistakes also, because वो free में सिखा रहा है मेरे को. That's how I tend to think about it. But yeah, but generally it is one thing that whatever mistakes I have done so far, I will definitely not repeat them, because it's a logbook entry that I put in my head, and I tend to not repeat them.
Wonderful. We must learn from others' mistakes. So why to make a mistake when we can learn it from others? And
Yes.
similarly, we can learn a lot of things from the experience of others, and that's the concept of Vidyadan, where we are learning from the wisdom and the experience people have gained throughout their journey. So I'll surely like to mention about your recent release of that song. I'll not say recent, but that's an amazing track that was released by Sony Music Entertainment. Nan Ramanan Illai.
Correct, correct.
So, if you can tell us about that, please.
So this was one Sam Paul Bolke, a friend of mine. He contacted me on Facebook, and that's how we became friends actually. So he called me up, and I mean he pinged me on Facebook, and was like, "Can we do an album? You've not done an album so far, and can we do a single?" So I was like, the idea was good, but so this guy is he's just starting off, and he also wants to do something big in the direction scene and music video scene and everything. So I was like, okay, let's collaborate, and we did a song called Nan Raman Ille Ille, and uh, we did not expect that it would gather so many views on YouTube. But then also one thing was like, we planned the song and finished it in a very given time and everything, and he also shot it really well. After that, when the product was ready, we pitched it to Sony Music. That's when they found it interesting, and they said that yes, we can release it in our platform. And that's how we got a lot of views also. So because doing one good work is one thing, but then again, releasing it in a good platform is something that we need to do.
Indeed. Uh, how about your fan following? Like,
I've actually got a very cult kind of a fan following, because the kind of music that I do is not your regular templated kind of a stuff. But I won't say that I'm, I have like a huge fan following, but whatever fan following I have a very loyal fan following.
yes, indeed. No, I actually meant that you have a huge fan following. I have seen that. Yes, then you're being so I'll say modest by saying you do not have a huge fan following, but you have a really huge fan following, and I'm the added addition. And so, what message you'd like to convey to the audience and the students who are watching you? Because nowadays, mostly people have lost their patience. They are just into listening to the music, and somehow, if I'll talk about yoga and music together, because it's a yoga day and a music world music day as well. So, guiding the younger generation in this post-COVID scenario, if they want to enter in the industry, be it this one or any industry, what they must uh, follow to get success.
So one thing is, in given this time and age, we are bombarded by information from all sides. One thing is to filter. Of course, a lot of people talk about filtering out information, and there's politics, then there's sports, then there's time pass, and so many things that we are bombarded with every day in just our cell phones. In say 20, 30 years, 20 years, 30 years back, people weren't so bombarded by information. So there was a time when our parents itself, they used to sit under a tree and talk. That time is gone now. That time is not things like that you don't see nowadays. Nowadays, if a person is like silent for 5 minutes, everyone's like, kya ho gaya usko? That kind of an attitude is happening around. So according to me, one thing that you can do is take time off consciously. Initially you will find it difficult to take time off your schedule and spend time with of course, all of us are right now spending time with family, but I'm telling, spend time for yourself. दो just like 2 minute या 3 minute आंख बंद करके एक जगह पे just sit and just do nothing. You'll realize that how much of recharge it can get into your system, how much of recharging you can do to yourself by just not speaking. When we speak, we lose a lot of energy. When we listen, we assimilate a lot of energy.
Hmm. True, what a word of message. When we speak, we lose a lot of energy, and when we listen, we assimilate a lot of energy. And terrific approach, sir. Hats off, seriously. And like, as I was talking about your fan following, they are very, although a less number, but yes, experienced by almost all the celebrities, that people want to come, peek into your private space and check about your, your personal schedules, and on especially on social media, when they have the opportunity to comment or send a message. So have you also experienced the same somewhere, some
Yes,
instance?
yes. There have been a lot of times, and I'm quite open about it. I also chat to them, keep chatting to them quite a lot, and there are quite a lot of friends that I've made just through social media. When they ping me on Facebook or Instagram, it's almost like an ongoing relationship with them that I tend to manage, because it's not like they're talking to a chat bot. It's always a person in real who's behind the typing, so it makes a difference.
And do you find it difficult to manage when this scenario, when everything is social on social media and everybody has access to speak? Like, of course, there's a man behind someone who's chatting. Do you prefer to reply if somebody is talking, negative, or do you just ignore if they want to troll or?
I would let them talk first and get a hint of what they're coming to say, and then finally I would reply with facts and something. See, the idea is not to shut down people, because if shutting down people was one way, then they would not be able to express themselves. The whole idea that they are opening up and saying something is beautiful. You just need to address that first. They have the sensibility to speak their heart out. A person who would rant about on social media would actually be a very, very true soul, according to me.
Thank you, sir. And as this is a music day and yoga day special, I know Vishal sir has been very, very busy, and he has given us time for today. It's really an honor for us.
Same here. Really,
So,
really honored being part of Vidyadan.
yes, sir. And as it's a yoga day, I'd like to mention about the upcoming session today that for our audience, we have Miss Vibhuti Arora joining at 1 p.m. for wellness and face yoga benefits. She's a founder of House of Beauty and Face Yoga Expert. She'll be here with us at 1 p.m. Plus, we have another session today with Dr. M. Manivanan. He's he's going to talk about Linga Mudra as COVID-19 first aid technique. He's talking about the scientific experiment and not just the theory. So it's going to be very, very wonderful today at 4 o'clock, because we all have either passed or we have heard of people who have been through COVID-19. And as we are, the media is talking about the third wave. So I think getting the first aid techniques is going to be good. So
Definitely. We'll keep you
the four,
equipped and beautiful as well.
yes, sir. Absolutely. So, first of all, thank you so much, Vishal, sir, for being here. It's really a pleasure having you here,
Thank
and
you so much.
such a, uh, honest and down to earth personality you are. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much, lovely audience, for watching us. Yoga Day, Music Day. Yes, a lot of amazing things are happening today. So you can take a break, go back, join us
Thank you.
at 1 o'clock. Okay. Thank you so much, Vishal, sir.
Bye bye.